Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into essential English for navigating the airport.
All right.
So, you know, imagine yourself confidently asking for directions, ordering coffee, even understanding those sometimes mumbled boarding announcements,
Right.
all in English.
Yeah.
We've got 2 podcast scripts from English for Beginners as our guide here.
Okay.
And our mission is to help you boost your vocabulary and listening comprehension so you can breeze through the airport with ease.
I like that. I think what's fascinating about this deep dive is that we're not just giving a list of phrases, but we're equipping you with the tools to understand the why behind the language, the cultural nuances, and the communication strategies that can make your airport experience so much smoother and enjoyable.
Okay, so let's unpack this journey step by step.
Okay.
Starting with the moment you arrive at the airport.
All right.
First up, check-in.
Yes.
You've probably seen those check-in counter signs a million times, but do you know how to ask for your specific airline in English?
Well, that's where these English for Beginners scripts highlight a simple yet crucial phrase. Where is the check-in counter for your airline?
Yeah.
It seems straightforward, but clear pronunciation, especially with airline names, can make all the difference.
Oh, absolutely.
A crisp Air France versus a mumbled France can save you from a world of confusion.
Oh, absolutely. Mumbling at the airport is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
Potentially ending up in the wrong country.
Exactly.
Speaking of potential mishaps,
Yeah?
I once had a near miss because I completely forgot about those pesky carry-on liquid restrictions.
Yeah.
Those tiny little bags.
Uh-huh.
A traveler's nemesis.
That brings us to another important distinction. Checked luggage versus carry-on luggage.
Okay.
Checked bags are those behemoths you bid farewell to at check-in, hoping they magically reappear at your destination. Carry-on is your trusty sidekick, hopefully within those size limits, that you keep with you throughout the journey. You'll often hear the question, do you have any checked luggage? Or is this your only carry-on?
It's worth practicing those responses beforehand.
Yes.
Just to be on the safe side, you don't want to accidentally send your phone charger on a solo trip to baggage claim.
Right. And once you've successfully navigated check-in, you'll encounter the next hurdle, security.
Okay.
This is where things can get a bit more complex with those shoes off, laptops out, instructions.
I swear, those security lines are a universal anxiety inducer.
Yes.
But the good news is that our scripts provide some helpful phrases
Okay.
for those moments of uncertainty. You can politely ask, do I need to take my shoes off?
Uh-huh.
Or do I need to take my laptop out of my bag?
What's important to remember is that security procedures can vary significantly between countries.
Right.
So while those phrases are a good starting point, paying close attention to instructions, even using nonverbal cues like pointing or gesturing, can ensure a smooth passage through security.
And once you're through security, the real adventure begins.
Yeah.
The Great Gate Hunt.
Yes.
Those departure gate signs can feel like a treasure map, leading you through a maze of terminals and corridors.
But you, our intrepid traveler, can confidently ask, excuse me, where is gate number? Just fill in the blank with your gate number and you're on your way.
Yeah.
It seems simple, but that one phrase can save you a lot of stress and aimless wandering.
I can't tell you how many times I felt that mild panic when I can't find my gate.
Yeah.
It's like a universal traveler's rite of passage.
Right.
But hey, at least there's usually a cafe nearby for a pre-flight caffeine boost or a quick bite to eat.
Speaking of food, our script suggests looking for familiar signs like food court, cafes, or restaurants.
Right.
And if you're craving a caffeine fix, you can confidently ask, where can I find a cafe?
That brings us to another essential airport survival skill.
Yeah.
Ordering food and drinks.
Yes.
It's helpful to brush up on common food vocabulary, especially if you're in a country where English isn't the primary language.
Knowing how to order a sandwich, coffee, or water can make all the difference in staving off those dreaded hunger pangs.
Definitely not. Speaking of potential travel meltdowns, let's talk about boarding time. You've probably heard those classic announcements, now boarding Group A, now boarding rows 1 to 10.
Right.
But sometimes it sounds like the announcer is gargling gravel, am I right?
Airports definitely have their own unique symphony of sounds.
Yes.
If you're ever unsure, you can always politely ask a gate agent, is it time for me to board? They're there to help.
And once you're on the plane, you'll meet your next language challenge, interacting with the flight attendants.
Here, politeness is key. Our scripts offer some helpful phrases for common requests like, excuse me, could I get some water, please? Or, excuse me, could I have a blanket? Notice the magic words, please and thank you.
Yeah.
They go a long way, especially in a confined space.
Being polite can definitely improve your in-flight experience.
Absolutely.
But what happens when you land and face the final hurdle? The luggage carousel tango.
Ah, the baggage claim area. Those baggage claim signs are your beacon of hope.
And once you've found the right carousel, the waiting game begins. It's like a reunion with a long-lost friend when you finally spot your suitcase. But what if your luggage doesn't show up?
That's where our scripts come in handy again. You can ask, where is the baggage claim area?
Yeah.
Or if you're facing the dreaded lost luggage situation, where can I find my luggage? Or can you help me report my missing luggage?
We've covered a lot of ground from check-in to baggage claim.
We have.
But our deep dive into airport English essentials is just getting started.
Oh, yes.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore some more advanced vocabulary, communication strategies for tricky situations, and even delve into cultural nuances that can enhance your airport experience.
We'll be back in a flash. Welcome back to the deep dive. In the last part, we covered some of the essential phrases you'll need to navigate the airport from check-in to baggage claim. Now we're going to delve a little deeper into the art of communication.
Okay.
Exploring how to handle those unexpected situations that can sometimes arise during travel.
I'm all for being prepared. I once had a layover in a country where I didn't speak a word of the local language.
Oh, wow.
It was a bit nerve-wracking, but I managed to get by using a combination of basic English phrases, gestures, and a whole lot of pointing.
That's a great example of how even a limited vocabulary combined with nonverbal communication skills can help you navigate unfamiliar situations.
Right.
But let's face it, airports can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
Flights get delayed, gates change, and sometimes, despite our best efforts, luggage goes astray.
Ugh, don't even get me started on delayed flights.
Yeah.
It's like a traveler's worst nightmare.
Right.
But I'm guessing our trusty English for Beginners scripts have some advice for handling those situations.
Absolutely. The key is to stay calm, be polite,
Okay.
and use clear, concise language to get the information you need.
Right.
So if your flight is delayed, you might say, "Excuse me, is there any information about the delay? Or could you please tell me when the flight is expected to depart?"
Those are great phrases to have in your back pocket.
Yeah.
What about if you need to change your flight?
Yeah.
I once had to do that when I missed a connection due to a weather delay.
Oh,
It
no.
was a bit of a scramble, but I managed to get rebooked on a later flight.
In that case, you could say, "I need to change my flight to destination. What are my options?" Or, "Is there a later flight I can take?"
Yeah.
Being prepared with those phrases can help you navigate those unexpected changes smoothly.
Okay. Those are definitely good ones to remember.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the ultimate travel nightmare. Lost luggage.
Uh-oh.
It's happened to me once,
Yeah.
and it was not a fun experience. I felt completely lost without my belongings.
Losing your luggage can be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
But remember, staying calm and communicating clearly is crucial.
Right.
Our scripts suggest phrases like, "I can't find my luggage. Where's the lost and found office?"
Oh.
Or, "Can you help me report my missing luggage?"
It's reassuring to know there are specific phrases you can use in those situations.
Yes.
It's easy to feel flustered and forget even basic English when you're stressed.
Absolutely. And that's why practicing these phrases beforehand can be so helpful.
Right.
Even rehearsing them in front of a mirror or with a friend can boost your confidence and help you recall them more easily when you need them.
That's a great tip. I'm a big believer in the power of practice.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off trying to remember everything perfectly in the heat of the moment.
And remember, language learning is a journey, not a destination. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Even native English speakers make grammatical errors from time to time.
So true. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Right.
But I'm curious, are there any cultural nuances or etiquette tips we should be aware of when communicating at the airport?
That's a great question. While "excuse me" and "please" are universally polite,
Right.
some cultures might have specific ways of addressing airport staff or expressing gratitude.
Okay.
For example, in some Asian countries, bowing is a customary way of showing respect.
It's fascinating. It's a good reminder that cultural awareness plays a significant role in effective communication,
Yes.
especially in a global setting like an airport.
It's about being mindful and respectful of the local customs and norms. If you're unsure, observing others or asking a local for guidance can be helpful.
Okay, so we've covered some common airport scenarios and even touched on cultural considerations.
Right.
But what about those situations that our scripts didn't specifically address? What happens when you encounter something truly unexpected?
That's where those communication strategies we discussed earlier come in.
Okay.
Active listening, asking clarifying questions, and using nonverbal cues can help bridge the gap when words fail us.
Could you give us some examples of how those strategies might play out in a real-life airport situation?
Absolutely. Imagine you're at the boarding gate and you hear an announcement about a gate change.
Okay.
But the announcement is garbled and you only catch a few words.
Ooh, I've been there. It's like trying to decipher a secret code.
Exactly. In that situation, instead of panicking, you could politely approach a gate agent and say, "Excuse me, I didn't quite understand the announcement.
Yeah.
Could you please repeat the new gate number?"
That's a great example of how active listening and asking a clarifying question can save you from potential confusion.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's say you're trying to order food at a cafe, but the menu is in a language you don't understand.
Okay.
You could point to a picture of a dish that looks appealing and ask, "Excuse me, what is this?" Or, "Could I please have this?"
Nonverbal communication to the rescue.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you can convey with a simple gesture or facial expression.
It's about using all the tools at your disposal to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
And remember, even if you make mistakes, the important thing is to keep trying.
Right.
Keep engaging and keep learning.
I love that perspective. It takes the pressure off and encourages a growth mindset.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, beyond those practical communication strategies, are there any insights from our English for Beginners scripts that can help us approach airport interactions with more confidence?
One key takeaway is the importance of being proactive and asking questions.
Right.
Don't be afraid to seek clarification if you're unsure about something.
I think that's such an important point. So often we hesitate to ask for help, but in an airport environment where clear communication is essential,
Yes.
asking questions can save you a lot of time and hassle.
It's also a great way to learn and expand your vocabulary. Each interaction is an opportunity to practice your English skills and gain a deeper understanding of how the language is used in a real-world context.
That's a great way to frame it. It's not just about getting from point A to point B.
Right.
It's about embracing the journey and using every opportunity to learn and grow.
Exactly. And remember, even a simple thank you can go a long way in creating positive interactions.
Politeness is truly a universal language.
Yes.
Well, we've explored a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
From handling travel hiccups to cultural considerations
Right.
and the importance of proactive communication.
Yes.
But our journey isn't over yet.
Stay tuned for the final part, where we'll wrap things up with some thought-provoking questions to help you reflect on what you've learned and continue your exploration of airport English essentials.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We've journeyed through the airport, from check-in to baggage claim, armed with essential English phrases and communication strategies.
Yes, we have.
But now let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
What's fascinating is how this seemingly specific scenario, navigating an airport, actually mirrors the broader experience of language learning.
It does.
It's like those English for Beginners scripts were our airport map guiding us through familiar landmarks.
Right.
But now we're venturing off the beaten path, exploring the nuances of communication
Yes.
and discovering those aha moments that make language learning so rewarding.
Precisely. So for our final thought, we invite you to imagine you've mastered the basics, you're feeling confident.
Right.
What other situations might you encounter at the airport that would test your English skills?
Okay.
What phrases would help you navigate those uncharted territories?
Okay, I love this challenge. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure for language learners.
Yeah.
Let's see. What if your flight is delayed and you need to find out about hotel accommodations?
Excellent scenario.
Yeah.
You might ask, "Excuse me, my flight has been delayed. Are there any hotel accommodations available?"
Okay.
Or, "Could you please tell me how to access the airport lounge?"
Ooh, what if you need to explain a dietary restriction at a restaurant?
That's where those key phrases from our scripts like "excuse me" and "could you please" become invaluable. You could say, "Excuse me, I have a nut allergy. Could you please tell me which dishes are nut-free?"
See, it's like a whole new world of possibilities opens up when you start applying these basic building blocks to different situations.
It is. And that's the beauty of language learning. It's an ongoing journey of discovery.
Right.
It's about connecting with people, navigating new environments, and constantly expanding your horizons.
So as we prepare for landing on this deep dive, remember, the airport is just one stop on your language learning adventure. The skills you've gained here, the vocabulary, the confidence,
Right.
the willingness to communicate
Yes.
can be applied to countless situations, both in your travels and everyday life.
Keep practicing. Embrace the challenge.
Yes.
And remember, every interaction, every aha moment brings you one step closer to fluency.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time, ready to explore a whole new world of knowledge